For thousands of years, the pregnant body has been more than just biology, it has been a statement. In ancient temples, it was carved in stone as a symbol of life itself. In 19th century ballrooms, it was hidden under layers of silk and bone, a secret carried in silence. Today, it can break the internet with a single photo. The way humans have displayed pregnancy, or concealed it, tells a story about our deepest beliefs, our strictest rules, our boldest fashions, and the shifting tides of politics and power. This is the surprising, sometimes shocking history of showing pregnancy. In the earliest human civilizations, pregnancy wasn't just a private condition, it was a cosmic force. In Mesopotamia, nearly 5,000 years ago, small clay figurines of fertility goddesses like Ishtar and Nintu were placed in homes, temples, and even buried beneath floors to invoke divine protection for mothers and their unborn children. The swelling belly wasn't hidden, it was honored, celebrated as the physical embodiment of creation itself. In ancient Egypt, the pregnant form appeared in tomb art and carvings, not as scandal, but as a mark of continuity and power. Queens such as Ahmose Nefertari were sometimes shown with a gentle curve of pregnancy, their status undiminished. Amulets shaped like pregnant hippopotamuses, sacred to the protective goddess Taurit, were worn to guard both mother and child against harm. But in the classical world of Greece and Rome, attitudes were more complex. Goddesses like Gaia, the Earth Mother, were portrayed with abundant fertility, yet mortal women were bound by social expectations of modesty. A pregnant goddess could adorn a temple wall, a pregnant senator's wife might retreat from public view. Pregnancy was both venerated and veiled, sacred in myth, subdued in daily life. As Europe moved into the Middle Ages, modesty became more than a personal virtue, it was a public expectation. Loose, flowing gowns disguised the body's changes, and in noble courts, pregnancy was rarely acknowledged outside the family circle. Yet art sometimes broke the silence. Religious works occasionally dared to show the Virgin Mary visibly with child, a quiet but powerful affirmation of motherhood's sacred role. These rare images stood out in an age where the physical signs of pregnancy were generally kept from view. In Asia, attitudes varied by dynasty, but within many royal households, pregnancy became an intensely private affair. Empresses and noblewomen often withdrew from court life during the later months, their presence replaced by layers of protocol and physical separation. A pregnant ruler might shape the fate of a nation, yet her condition remained veiled, literally, behind drawn curtains and ceremonial screens. Far across the oceans, in the empires of Mesoamerica, the story was different. Among the Maya and the Aztec, fertility and motherhood were celebrated openly in art and ritual. Stone carvings, temple murals, and illustrated codices recorded not only gods and goddesses of creation, but also mortal women in the act of giving life. Here, pregnancy was not an absence from public life, it was a visible, honored part of it. The 18th century's Enlightenment brought shifts not only in science and philosophy, but in how the human body appeared in public life. In the Regency era, fashion adopted the high, empire waistline, soft drapery falling straight from just beneath the bust. It was a style that flattered a range of figures, and discreetly accommodated the changing shape of pregnancy without requiring a separate wardrobe. The silhouette was elegant, modest, and socially acceptable. The bump neither celebrated nor condemned, simply dressed in gentility. By the mid-19th century, the Victorian era had set new standards for female appearance, and with it, stricter rules about how and whether pregnancy should be visible. In the early months, many women continued to wear tight-laced corsets, their waists cinched to the fashionable ideal. Later, when the pregnancy could no longer be disguised, polite society expected a form of disappearance, extended stays at country estates, or prolonged illnesses that conveniently kept a woman out of public view. Portraiture adapted to these expectations. While some paintings and photographs hinted at pregnancy, a slightly rounded form beneath heavy skirts, a hand resting just above the belly, it was rarely declared outright. Symbolic cues took the place of open depiction, a vase of lilies for purity, a cradle tucked in the background, or a soft, almost imperceptible fullness under layers of silk. The 20th century marked a slow but powerful transformation in the public visibility of pregnancy. In the early 1900s, maternity wear began to emerge as its own category, but rarely in public view. Garments were advertised discreetly in specialized catalogs, often described as for the privacy of home. These designs favored modesty over style, echoing the social belief that pregnancy was a condition best kept within the family. By the 1940s and 50s, the film industry held an even tighter grip on the image of women's bodies. In Hollywood, pregnant actresses were hidden behind carefully chosen camera angles, oversized props, or temporary vacations from their roles. On television, storylines quietly wrote characters out during pregnancies, or simply pretended nothing had changed. The glamorous star was to remain eternally slim, at least in the public eye. The 1960s and 70s brought a cultural shift, influenced by a wave of social change. From the women's liberation movement to the rise of celebrity journalism, maternity fashion began to take on a new form. Dresses became more tailored, patterns more playful, and for the first time, a visible baby bump could be part of a public appearance. Famous figures like Elizabeth Taylor and Jane Seymour began to be photographed during pregnancy, subtly reframing the conversation around motherhood. Then, in 1991, a single photograph shattered centuries of quiet discretion. Actress Demi Moore appeared on the cover of Vanity Fair, nude, her hands cradling her 8-month pregnancy. The image was bold, unapologetic, and instantly iconic. It transformed pregnancy from a private, modest condition into a symbol of glamour, empowerment, and public celebration. For many, it marked the moment the bump itself became a cultural statement. From the early 2000s to today, the baby bump has become more than just a stage of life. It has become a stage in itself. On the red carpet, celebrities now proudly display their pregnancies, turning a public appearance into a headline event. Designers craft gowns specifically to frame and accentuate the pregnant silhouette, making motherhood part of the fashion moment. On social media, the pregnancy reveal has evolved into an art form, and sometimes a marketing strategy. Instagram posts framed in golden light, coordinated outfits, and carefully chosen captions can turn personal news into a viral sensation. For influencers, actresses, and musicians, pregnancy often becomes intertwined with brand identity, a chapter in the ongoing story of public life. Maternity photo shoots, once a niche luxury, have become a rite of passage for many, from intimate black and white portraits to elaborate themed sessions worthy of magazine covers. The bump has shifted from something to conceal to something to stage, style, and share. Yet, even in this age of global connection, differences remain stark. In parts of the world, cultural traditions still dictate that pregnancy be kept private, for reasons ranging from modesty to spiritual protection. While some women are celebrated on red carpets, others quietly carry new life behind the closed doors of family homes. In the modern era, displaying pregnancy is no longer only about biology. It is about choice, visibility, and the right to shape how, or whether, the world sees you. From divine symbols, to social taboo, to global fashion statements, the story of showing pregnancy is really the story of us. It's the story of what we choose to reveal, what we choose to hide, and how our cultures shape the meaning of life itself. We have carved it in stone, hidden it behind curtains, glamorized it on glossy covers, and shared it with millions in the tap of a finger. But the question remains, what will the next chapter look like?